This video will take you through the updates made to the Entities of Interest workflow tool in Oasys 21. The new Workflows feature that was introduced to Oasys 20 to make it easier to interrogate and post-process results has been updated in Oasys 21. The Entities of Interest tool previously helped visualize and act upon selected entities in your model, such as onlying, highlighting, and GLB exporting ready for use in D3 Plot Viewer. If you haven't already, I suggest checking that video out on YouTube. In Oasys 21, this has been further improved to allow for mixed mode plotting, zooming, and colouring by, whilst also giving further options to select different entities in Primer. Parts and parts by set were available in the previous version, but it now also includes parts by include and parts by group. Firstly, open Primer, load in your model, then in the Tools menu, click on Workflows and then Entities of Interest. In this example, I will pick a few entities and then action them with the new features in the post-processing software. In the name box, type the name of your entities, for example, Footwell in the drop-down, and in the drop-down select your entity type, which for this one I will do parts. Version 21, we've added the ability to add parts by include and parts by group. Then press select and either use the quick pick or the menu in the top right, which for this example is 100166. Then press add. Next, I'll quick pick the front wheels. So in the name box, I'll type front wheels. The type again is just parts. So then I'll hit select and quick pick the front wheels. So that's those two wheels there. Press apply and then add.
Next, I'll get the front chassis using the new feature parts by include. So in the name box, I'll type front chassis, then in the drop down, I'll change it to parts by include and then select the include I want. Again, press apply and then add. And then I'll do the same again for the fuel tank. So if I do select once again and then apply and add.
Finally, I'll get the occupant seat using the other new feature, parts by group. So in the type menu, change it to parts by group, select it, apply and add. Other additions to entities of interest in Primer include an enhanced edit entity menu. For example, if I click edit on the front wheels, I can then go ahead and change the name to wheels, and then for the parts I will go and add the wheels. So for this example, I will just add the one wheel, and there you can see it being added into the ID box, and then I'll add the other one, press apply and see it being added into the ID box. You can also see I've accidentally added another part in there, which is 100126. Now I'll update that and then I'll press only just to see those part IDs and what's there. I've now realized that 100126 shouldn't be there, so I'll then click on edit once more and then I'll remove that ID from the list, and then I can simply press update and then I'll press only again and you can see that that part is no longer there. The last thing to do then is save the workflow file to a .json file, or you can save it to your model and then write the keyword file out in Primer. Once you've done this, the next time you open up the workflow in Primer, your data will be automatically pre-populated. Once the input is saved, it's now ready for use in the post-processor as soon as your LS-DYNA results are ready. You can open D3 Plot directly from Primer by clicking on Post in the top right and then Start D3 Plot.
Once in D3 Plot, click on Tools in the top right, Workflows and then Entities of Interest. Previously in Oasys 20, we just had only, highlight and GLB export. First of all, we will only the wheels, front chassis and footwell.
So I'll choose those on the entity selector and then press only. Now I just quickly move the camera and I might decide that I want to zoom in on the footwell. With the footwell still selected, I'll go to displacements and then change it to disp resultant. I'll then use a drop down on the mix mode plot and pick the SI plot. Once this is done, I might decide that I can't see too much. So I just move it along to state 4, and then to help me see, I change the transparency to 90%. And then I'll press mix mode plot again to regenerate it. And then I'll press zoom in on the footwell again so it's even clearer. At this point, I want to see where the seat is in comparison to the footwell. So I'll use the color drop down on the occupant seat, pick green, and there we go. Thank you.